Assalamualaikum, namaskar, and hello everybody, it is I, Mushba, back with another video. This video is a special video because it is going to be my very first book review. This book review is going to be about Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which is a book that I got as part of a book subscription box from Absolutely Booked way back in November, I think. I read this book during my semester, so it took me a while to read. It is about 450 pages. Here is the story, well, a background of it. Basically, it revolves around the notion of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland before she became the Queen of Hearts. Our Queen of Hearts is basically Catherine Pinkerton, Catherine Pinkerton, who comes from a noble family and she loves to bake. Her best friend is Marianne, who is her maid of sorts, and they both dream of opening a bakery together, which is highly unlikely considering that Catherine comes from this noble family who would never allow it, and the only reason that they let her bake is because the King of Hearts is kind of like her suitor. He's kind of interested in proposing to her, and he really loves her baking. So that is why her family, her parents, her mother specifically, lets her indulge in her baking as a hobby rather than as her passion. So at the start of the book, we basically see Catherine struggle to convince herself and then consequently her parents to let her open this bakery, to not marry the King of Hearts and not let him be her suitor. And in this whole journey, she meets a court joker by the name of Jest, who is pretty sexy, if I may say so myself. He's dressed up in a black motley, he has lemon yellow eyes, and he's the new court joker for the King of Hearts. And safe to say, Catherine kind of has a crush on him. And basically the story kind of revolves around how she manages growing up, you could say. Like, she's managing her first crush, and then she has this situation here. Then there's also, following her heart with her passion. All in all, Heartless can best be described as a young adult / fantasy novel. I don't want to give away too much of the story because there is a lot to the story. I think Marissa Meyer has done an amazing job when you consider the setting, because she's kind of borrowed Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland world and followed along what he weaved and then added some more to it, which I think was very challenging, but she did a great job of it. I really wanted to review this book because during the semester that I read this, I was taking a creative writing course, and part of requirement of our course was to read a piece of fiction, and to read it from the perspective of a writer using the techniques that we learned in class and see if the writers that we were reading had applied them. So keeping all that in mind, I read this book and I saw what an amazing job I feel Marissa Meyer did of developing Catherine's character, what an amazing job she did of making us fall in love with Jest, and basically getting us on Catherine's side. And I think overall the character development in this book is very good, and combined with the great settings that she's put up, it just creates this little world. It is literally a different world that you go into when you start reading this book, and you become so interested in these characters, and you kind of, so it becomes so invested in them. At least I did in my experience. One thing that I did observe as a writing student was how Marissa Meyer really just changed the story in like the last 100 pages or so. So for the first 300 pages or so, she creates this amazing world and a very particular character like Catherine, and she builds upon all these different relationships that Catherine has. And I'm not giving away any spoilers, but let's just say in the last 100 pages, everything goes here and there, and it's heartbreaking. I'll give you this spoiler, it is very heartbreaking. But it's also amazing how Marissa Meyer did this. I think the writing ability is great, the storytelling is great. Overall, I really love this book, and I highly recommend it. It is now one of my favorite books ever. It will provide you with pretty much everything that you want in a good book. It gives you an interesting story, an interesting setting, interesting characters that you become invested in, and just overall it leaves you by the end of it with a feeling that you can't get rid of. Like, I still remember the feeling I had when I finished this book, and I think for me personally that is a sign of good writing. That even after you finish a book and you've put it down and you've moved on, you still remember the feeling the book gave you. So if I had to rate this on a scale of 5, I would give this 4.5 stars. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna give this 5 stars because that's how much I love this book. Go read this book. I don't know if this is available in Pakistan. I think it should be available on readings.com.pk or on Last Words. I don't know about Liberty and stuff, but yeah, that's it. That was my first book review. Thank you so much for giving me your time. If you like this